Welcome. We're moving on with our review of the finals from the GHSA in 2019. Today we're going to look at the AA. We said we're just going in order every couple of weeks. So the first one we want to look at is just a simple timeout call. The thing is, when we're on the mic, especially when we're on TV, we still want to give the timeout signal instead of just indicating to one side. The reason you do that is in case there's a microphone malfunction or in case something's wrong with the TV feed and they're not hearing you. So you still just do the timeout signal, hands over your heads, and then point. It's just something you want to do just, for the fans, people watch on TV, just to kind of, you still want to stay consistent with what we do regularly. And it helps them out. It's all about optics when you're on TV. Alright, here we're going to have a whistle about right there, but I don't see the runners being down. I know it's hard to see there. Maybe you can kind of see through some legs, but there's a slightly better angle from the end zone. And I don't see where he's down. Certainly, it looks like he's just kind of taken over on top of the tackler. So a little better whistle management there, because he still would have gained a couple extra yards, because we wound up spotting him right back there, a couple yards back, and that's also where the whistle was blown. So really, it would be an inverted whistle more than anything. Just a little more whistle control on that. These next couple ones, this one we're going to look at a couple of things. Particularly, we want to look at punching back. Neither wing official punches back here or punches forward, and we gotta have some kind of indication whether or not this is a forward or backward pass. We have nothing from anyone, so there's that. And then if we look at the replay, this ball touches the ground. So if we rule it forward, this is actually an incomplete pass. If we're rolling it backwards, then we have a fumble. But I think it's ruled forward. What you're going to see is actually going to hit the ground, and it's not in clear possession when it touches the ground. He kind of uses the ground to really gain control of that ball. So it should have been an incomplete pass. Of course, it's easy for us to look at this in slow motion and say, yeah, it's incomplete. Obviously, the officials on the field don't have that luxury. The main takeaway from here, though, is we need a punch back or forward, something here to indicate we have a backward pass or forward pass. Another one, we need some kind of signal there, from forward or backward, just kind of something to so everyone knows how we're seeing it. Be another one here. Again, just some kind of signal. I know the wings are in goal line mechanics there, so it may be hard for them to get a look at it. But we gotta have some kind of indication forward or backwards, especially now we got a loose ball. I want to look at the positioning of the white hat on this. We just want you to line up a little bit wider here on a punt, maybe probably about the hash, maybe a little bit wider, so you have a good angle on the contact. If there's contact, on the punter, or if there's partial block or something, we need to be wider there in order to see that better. One of these we have a good call for a blindside block by the umpire. Maybe it's the next one. Next one too, we also want to look at the positioning. It looks like the white hat is not going to be quite wide enough where we want to be. Yeah, right here. Good call for a blindside block by the umpire. The umpires don't really have long distance flags, so good job of throwing it. Actually, pretty good throw for an umpire. But it's a good call. As you can see right there, right about the 14. You know, it's close to being in the back, but it's definitely a blindside block. Remember, if it's iffy, you don't know if he's in the back, but you're definitely sure it's a blindside block, and we'll go with the blindside block. Even if it's squarely in the back, if it still meets criteria for a blindside block, then you can call a blindside block as well. A good call by the umpire. Good job of looking and catching that. This one's just going to be a good job of the side judge. Good cushioning. Way to keep your cushion there. And then just kind of great position. I like how you kind of slow down there as there's action. We want to limit our eyes moving as much as we can. In a situation like this, deep, obviously it's hard to come to a complete stop. But just slowing it down a little bit so your eyes aren't moving as much is good. And if it really looks like there's not going to be a catch and run, then if you're in a good enough cushioning like this, then you could stop so you can make a good judgment. But good job overall by the side judge there. We're going to have a correct call here for an illegal shift. We'll go back to that. As you can see, the guy's in motion, and you can see that left end is going to put his hand on the ground while he's in motion. Some people might say it's kind of nitpicky, but that's the rule. That's the way we've always called it. That's the way we should call it. And that's the way it should be called all year. So we had a lot of discussion on this about the clock. The rule says, it's rule 343. The crew is correct in running this on the running for play. The discussion was, since you have a legal kick, should the clock be on the snap instead? Because you have a legal kick. That was a discussion. We were kind of split for a while. But rule 343, you can see the clock is at 6:43. And then ready for play, they run it. That's correct. It's 343. And essentially the clock runs on ready for play since there was no change of possession, even though there was a legal kick. So it was a good job there by knowing the proper clock rules. Watch the umpire. On this particular play, you don't step up to the goal line, because you'll block the view of the wings as they have to rule on the goal line. Just kind of stay back. And by stepping up, you're kind of in the middle of all that fracas right there. So you gotta stay at the goal line. That way your wings are good. Good job, wing there, selling that he shored the goal line. Just a small nitpicky thing here by the line judge. Run inside the numbers. There's no need to wind the clock. Just, I mean, we all know that it's pretty clear that it's going to be running. The clock's going to still run. Just if it's near the sidelines, outside the numbers, then we would wind it. Here's going to be a good job of cross-field mechanics, and then a great job of staying with the play out of bounds. I know it cuts off, but just great cross-field mechanics. You're going to see the line judge step up and get the spot. Good job there, and that way the headline judge and the referee can deal with all this out of bounds. So these next three, we just want to look at side judge. In a crew of 7, there's no need for the side judge to drop his beanbag. The back judge has the kick, completely. So no matter where it goes, the back judge has a kick. That means he's going to be the only one dropping the beanbag. So really, in a crew of 7, field judge, side judge, I know you're used to carrying 2 beanbags, but in a crew of 7, there's really no need for 2 beanbags. Back judge, you would still need to carry 2. But the field judge, side judge, you can get away with just 1, because you're not going to drop a beanbag on the end of a kick here. Now you are correct side judge in gaining that spot, because once the kick is over, the back judge would yield the runner to the field judge, side judge, whichever side he's on. So this is your runner, your spot, side judge, but you just will not drop the beanbag for the end of the kick. Leave that completely up to the back judge. Same thing here. Side judge, even though it's right in front of you, it's not your beanbag. Let the back judge get that. The back judge has this, even all the way to the sideline, the back judge still has this returner. It's all his. And that's crew of 7, back judge, returner, 100%. And also, side judge, don't turn your back on mixed colors like that. Turn around and watch those colors. Alright, so same thing here. Side judge again, what you want to do is we really need you to start the clock when it's touched. You're going to wind the clock right there when it's touched, and instead of dropping a beanbag. There's really no need for a beanbag here anyway, because it's not touched before going 10 yards. It looks like it's going to be touched right at, it's right there at the 48, 49. So you drop the beanbag right at the 50, but I don't see any touching there. Yeah, it's going to hit the 50 and then it's first touch at the 49. So there's no need for a beanbag because there's no first touching or anything. And then just go ahead, if there's a clear recovery, go ahead and point to who recovered it. Good mechanics here between the side judge and the head linesman or headline judge. Great cushioning there by the side judge. Good job the headline judge coming down and grabbing that spot. Very good work overall between our two side guys over there, the deep and the headline judge. So in here we're in reverse goal line mechanics. So headline judge, when this goal line is threatened right here, you should be on it. So just know this is one thing, kind of help the referee out, because the referee he's not gonna be able to help there if there's the quarterback is sacked right at the goal line. So headline judge, you need to be right there on the goal line on a reverse goal line mechanics. It's a good no call on an eligible downfield. They look pretty deep, but remember we go by when the pass is released. So we're getting released right there. It looks like our line is the 12, and everyone's, we give them 3 yards, so everyone is still within 15. So good job there by holding off on the ineligible downfield. It's been a great call by the umpire on a block below the waist. And you can see it right. That linebacker, he's going to cut that lead blocker out. And good job, umpire, on catching that. This was a good crew overall. I know hit him hard on some points, but we're going to nitpick you. There we have a hole by the right tackle is missed. So we're going to watch that right tackle. You can see he's holding on to him while the that defender, he still has a shot to make a tackle here. But he's getting held pretty good by the right tackle. So we missed that hold. This one's just going to be a weak fair catch signal. I'm glad we called it a fair catch and we killed it, but that's a weak fair catch signal. We need something a little stronger and clearer than that. We're going to call illegal block in the back on 52. But I think we can probably get away with it. I think that's pretty much in the side. It's right here at the 40. Yeah, that to me that's not a good block in the back. So we could probably it looks like he's in the side. So we probably pass on that. Alright, this is a pretty big foul here. For one thing, we're going to have a missed false start. Right there, that up back right here. He's going to move a little too early. So we missed that false start right there by the headline judge. Alright, so we're going to see the targeting there. And it is targeting. 5 fouls. The 5 flags should confirm it. But the result of this play should have been a touchdown. The line judge, we like you at least kind of look back at the field judge first to kind of make sure before you get the signal or before you really indicate anything. So it's going to be hard to see here, but if we go back and we look at the end zone angle in the GPV version, we're going to see that he gets that ball inside the pylon before he steps out of bounds. And I know this is a lot better angle than you had, but it's still one that, so he's still in bounds, he has not gone out of bounds yet, and that ball is going to be inside the pylon, at the very least over the pylon, but it looks to be inside the pylon, so this should be a touchdown. Alright, now we'll go back and look at the targeting, which is very much there. Again, 5 flags should confirm that. And it's going to be, like anything, we see the brick with his hand. And, I mean, at the very least, we have a blindside block here. So, the penalty is going to be the same, 15 yards from that spot. And it's hard to see how high he gets them, but, I mean, you have indicators for targeting anyway. So targeting is perfectly okay there. And I don't think the GPV version really shows anything better. I think it was just out of frame. Oh, no, there you go. You have head down, leading with the crowd of the helmet. It's a very high hit. So targeting, great call there for targeting. Like I said, the only bad thing with this play where we missed the false start, and the result of the play should have been a touchdown. All right, we're gonna have 2 fouls here. We're gonna have a illegal touching by number 55 for catching a forward pass. And then there really should be an illegal forward pass by 55. So really, just take your pick, which one you want if you're the coach. So we get it there. You don't get both. You only get one. GPV version shows a pretty good version of it. The only other thing too on this one, maybe a slightly better announcement. You probably want to go with just keep it simple, keep it crisp. Say illegal forward pass, offense, half the distance from the spot of the foul. Foul carries lost down. Heard County ball, 1st and goal. That's all you gotta say. It don't look like you're explaining. Kind of keep your hands, don't kind of move your hands like that. So just real crisp, keep it nice and sharp. But good job, the crew, of doing that. Last one here, just want a good call for non-illegal blindside block. It was just nice to kind of hit these every once in a while. This is not the kind of forceful contact we're looking for an illegal blindside block. So good job on passing that. Referee, looks like you're looking at it and you correctly passed on it. So Good job. All right, again, great job by this crew. Like I said, we're gonna nitpick on you because that's what we got to do to get better. So great job. Next week we're gonna release a training video on we're gonna review I don't really know what to call it. It was the Lee County game where they played that school from out of state, part of like the Geico showcase. We had a Georgia crew officiate that game, so we're going to review that one next week, and then 2 weeks we'll pick back up with our state finals with the 3A. So have a good week, and we'll see you next week.